Okay, we are back, and this is a very important topic. Is for my Algebra 1 students, it's also for my geometry students. It's linear equation. Linear equation, as the name implied, is going to be a line equation. So it's all about straight lines. So straight lines, if you do not know, straight lines is going to look like this. It's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. It's going to be looking like this. Okay, so straight line equations, there are only 4 types of it. They will go on forever. You have this type, you have this type, you have the horizontal line, you're also going to get this vertical line. So altogether there are only 4 types of line we are talking about. So we spend a lot of time on this in Algebra 1. However, at the end of the day, it's just that 4 different types. Okay, 4 different types. So let's group all of this together. We don't want them to sit in the middle of the screen. And creating troubles. So graphically, that's what we will have. Okay, graphically, that's what we will have. We'll have like 4 different types. So the other big thing about linear equation, that's when linear equation get a little bit tricky. You will start this term, slope. When we are talking about linear equation, we'll talk about the slope. Slope basically is how steep certain things is. We want a number to basically say, oh, this is actually pretty steep. But like pretty steep is not a very concrete answer. So you're looking at this, you may want to talk about, oh, it's going to be a positive slope. That's going to be a negative slope. Okay, so while we are at it, I just want to do it now. Just want to get that out and basically tell you, if you have a line going this direction, going that direction over there, the slope is going to be a positive slope. Okay, and that also comes with another topic we did before, is about correlation. Like all those dots, if they're kind of hanging around together around a straight line, it's going to be a positive correlation. So that's something we did in the earlier time of this year, in the beginning of the year. So if the slope is going this way, or if your line is kind of like sliding down that way, you're going to get yourself a negative slope. So that kind of information can be useful, as in like sometimes a multiple choice will just give you a line, you're going to look at it, and if you see the line is going at a certain direction, you basically know that it's going to be positive or negative, and you make your judgment on how the line is going to look like. And then the other one is, you have this line is going that way, and we did an investigation and we draw a lot of things on decimals, and we realized that if you have a horizontal line, the slope is going to be equal to simply just 0. Alright, so the 4 simple definition of giving you a line, whether it's positive or negative slope, that 4 is giving you a general idea what that means. And finally, if you have a line that going straight vertically, and if you plug that into the calculator, you'll actually realize, error. Or we'll simply say no solution for it. Because a vertical line, we will have this divided by 0 scenario. So out of these 4 lines we are dealing with in linear equation, everything we worked for, but based on this 4 scenario, is either positive slope, negative slope, 0, or an error. Okay, so slope is where it gets very confusing, because we start with talking about the shape of the line, and then we talk about linear equation, and then seemingly the whole chapter itself gone off this tangent, basically talking about something called slope. And it's reasonable. Basically, we're saying that if we are talking about a straight line, any type of straight line in this universe is going to be a certain gradient, a certain slope tied to it. So imagine slope is basically telling me if I'm going up a stairs, this I'm walking up these stairs. I would like to know I have this poor person trying to jump up. Okay, if this person ended up with like up here, alright, ended up here, this person actually gone up how many steps? 1, 2, 3, right? He gone up 3 times, and he actually moved forward 1, 2, 3 times. Alright, so if this person is actually going up somewhere, the slope is rise over run. So that's actually the absolute basic of understanding what slope means. Slope is simply rise over run. Should I use black? Okay, so we want like a number system to tell us how far this person actually went up. So he actually gone up by 1, 2, 3 times, like going up 1, 2, 3 times. And then for the run, he actually went this one time, this one time, this one time. So he ended up way over here. So he's kind of like going up 3 times, going to the right 3 times. So that's basically the idea of like going up a slope. It's not always like this. The step may not be as obvious sometimes. However, if we have a diagram, we should be able to count towards that. We should be able to count like how many times it go up, how many times it went to the right. And so that's the basic idea of it. And we are going to just start with this idea. I'm not going to go too far. I want to keep it short. I want to keep it as like the very absolute basic of slope. Okay, and how we got to that equation at the end, the one that most of you remember, that y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? So let's look into one of these. I'm going to focus on the positive and the negative for the time being. So let's say I have this slope. Let's make it a little bit bigger, and so I have a line going through this. Let's just draw a line. Let's use red. So I have, instead of, wow, that's really thick. Can I have something kind of not as thick? No, that's too thick. I don't like it. 1 second, guys. Oh, I think this is okay. I think this is kind of like giving me a straight line anyway. I think to fix it. Yeah, there you go. So let's say I'm gonna have that line. That line is very random. It's going to be positive slope. Starting using those terminologies when you look at something, try to start defining what that means. It's going to be a positive slope. So assuming I have 2 dots that I'm going to work with. As I said before, picking up the dots is your choice. So you want to pick things that are easy to work with. As an example, things that are easy to work with would be something that lie right on top of a cross. Okay, so in your coordinate system, it should be giving you like nice integer to work with. Life may not be that simple all the time, but in the beginning, just try to pick something that's easy. So this is an easy, nice point, and that's going to be another easy, nice point. Okay, assuming that is the guy who is going to run all the way up. So he's trying to climb up, and we are going to use the rise over run and try to find out what the slope is. So I want to at least have a number system to tie to how far this person actually travel. Okay, so he actually gone up 1 time, 2 times. So I should just put the 0 over here just in case I don't want to mess you up. So it's 1, it's 2, it's 1, it's 2, that's just 3 and 4. So this person started from this point, okay, is going to go up 1, 2. So rise is going up 2 times. So rise is going to be equal to 2. So my slope, normally we like to use m for it. It gone up 2 times. So it gone up 2 times, and then from this point onward, it moved to the right 2 times. If you're running to the right, it's going to be a positive 2. And I would like to keep that running to the right always positive. So is the going up or going down govern whether it's going to be a positive or negative number. So if it's going up, it's going to be positive. Going to the right is going to be positive as well. So you can always simplify that. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the slope itself is just going to be 1. Okay, it's just going to be 1. So rise over run has its really useful graphic way to look at it, how far you go up, how far you go to the right. So the other way to do it is the equation. The equation, if you actually remember, it has everything to do with the where's my pen? Over here. So that equation actually said m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now this equation, most of you should have remembered that in class. And basically what you need to use this equation is I have to find out the coordinates for this. So the coordinates for this, x go first, so at that point, let's call it 2. That point over there is what? 1, 2, 3 is going to be 3. So finding the coordinate shouldn't be too bad. Going down here, going to the right, left over there. At this point, my x value, look at here, is going to be 0. My y value is going to be 1. And that's how you get this x1, y1, x2, y2. So as I said before, in class, it doesn't matter which way you're going to go. So I'm going to just call this x1, y1. This one is x2, y2. It doesn't really matter how you do this, okay? Obviously, having it the other order, your life is a little bit easier, but we're just going to deal with it. y2 minus y1, 1 minus 3, plugging in the number accordingly. 0 minus 2. So 1 minus 3 is going to be a negative 2. 0 minus 2 is a negative 2. Just same number, divide. So you still get that 1. You still get that 1. So there are a couple of ways to do it. They are the two simplest way, giving you the diagram or giving you 2 points. And in the later video, we are going to talk about, the slope-intercept form. They actually give you the equations. Okay. And this is a big topic. I'm not going to try to jam everything in one go, but we are going to start somewhere. This is going to be the slope 1. This is the very first beginning video of this whole thing, why we actually have something called slope in the beginning, what kind of lines we're dealing with, only 4 types at the end of the day, and how can we gather our slope through our graph. So all these skills, they are going to be useful. One way or the other, you will be asked in many different forms, like in different tests. And so I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to stop now. If I feel like it, I'm going to do the second one. I think slope is the topic that we really have to work on. If you're in my algebra 1, we're actually on this topic. So as a review, okay, so something for you guys all. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.